Hello and welcome to the Strong, Healthy, Happy podcast. My name is Deborah, and today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of planning and scheduling when it comes to your health, your goals, your self accountability, and the feeling of self accomplishment. By the end of this podcast, you are going to have a greater understanding why planning is essential when it comes to improving your health and achieving your goals, no matter your goal. Now, what is it exactly you need to plan and schedule? You might be asking yourself. And my response to you is anything to do with your health values and your goals. And again, no matter what your goal is, anything to do with you achieving those goals and improving your health and the way you feel, anything that you need to do in order to achieve that, you're going to be planning and scheduling. And it might be planning and scheduling things like a daily walk, getting the time to exercise, a grocery shop, time to eat, prepare a meal, time to relax. Perhaps you enjoy running and you want to have time for a run, or maybe you enjoy a class as well and you want to make sure you can still fit in time to do your class. I'm going to be sharing with you 8 points about why planning and scheduling your week will help you to achieve your goal and lead to feelings of accomplishment. I've given you the examples of what those things might be, but they can be anything that you want to include in your planning and scheduling. I know through my coaching experience, by coaching other women, that my most successful clients that stay accountable to their actions to achieve their goals are the clients who plan. And I know with myself and my anecdotal experience with myself that I am more successful with my own goals when I have a plan and I schedule. And so I want to share that with you and how you can plan and schedule for yourself to give you greater control and success in pursuit of your own health and fitness goals, weight loss, whatever your personal goal is. So, number one, setting yourself clear expectations and planning your week in advance and scheduling in to your plan what it is that you need to do allows you to see clearly exactly what you need to be achieving for the week. Now, the same way that you would schedule in time to see the dentist, a hair appointment, a nail appointment, you wouldn't not show up to those appointments, not intentionally anyway. And I want you to have the same commitment to the actions and the things that you need to do to support your health and your goal. So, using a diary, using your phone diary, using a calendar, using a handwritten diary, whichever method you use to plan your week for your life, for your work, for your kids' activities, whatever it might be, it is really important that you add to that planner, that calendar, that diary, that you add your own things that you need to be doing to support your health and your goals. Now, you might look at your week ahead and decide that you're going to schedule in your exercise sessions in advance. You might decide that you're going to set aside time to prepare a meal or two. You might set aside the time to do your grocery shop. You might set aside time to get that daily walk in so you get increase your steps. Whatever it is that you schedule in, it will be clear to you what needs to be done and where you need to be and when you need to do it. And this is what scheduling and planning will help you achieve. Now, you may plan your week in advance, and we know that sometimes in our busy lives, the best laid plans don't always go to plan. And this is why I would advise the evening before or the day before, the following day, is to re-look at your diary, recheck your plan, check that nothing's changed that may have an impact on what it is that you want to do for yourself, and be open to changing or rescheduling should you need to. Which leads me on to point number 2, is about being open to change without abandoning your actions that you need to take, because that will impact your health and your goals. So even if life gets in the way, even if all of a sudden, your kid gets sent home from school, it's not something you could plan, but it's impacted your plan, is be open to adjusting your plan without giving up on what it is that you had scheduled in. So it might mean that you've got to do it a bit later. It might mean that you have to do it the following day instead. Whatever it is that you need to adjust or change, be open to rescheduling, to changing, to doing it at a time that you may not have considered before as a time for you to do that action, but be open to it and get it done anyway. Be open to rescheduling, be open to reorganizing those tasks, because they will help you work closer to your goal rather than just giving up on them completely because life gets in the way. It will also enable you to have more commitment to yourself. Planning and scheduling helps you to formalize what it is that you need to do to support your goal. It is you showing up for yourself and making a promise to yourself. And so you're more likely stick to them and not let yourself down. I always say to my kids, so before my son is now driving, he's an adult, he's a man child. When he was younger, he used to referee, he used to organize all his own referee matches, but he didn't drive. I would have to drive him to his referee matches. And I would say to him, we used at that time Apple Calendar, and I created a family calendar within that calendar. And I said to him, unless your referee games are in the diary, in the calendar, they do not exist. And I cannot allocate that time or know where you need to be and be able to create a plan to get you there on time. And I used to say to him, if it's not in the diary, it doesn't exist. And then he would always put things in the diary because then it exists, and he knew he would get taken there and brought back again. And this is the same for you. You need to put it in your diary, because when it's in your diary, it exists and you're more likely to do what it is that you say you were going to do. And it's you putting in black and white in your diary the commitment, the promise to yourself, and you're more likely to get it done because you won't want to let yourself down. It's not a nice feeling. Now, you also need to be realistic with what it is that you need to do. Don't try and do it all. I know you might want to, but be realistic, because I want you to set yourself up for success and be able to do what it is that you said you were going to do. I always like clients to underpromise but over-deliver rather than overpromise and under-deliver. Now, scheduling and planning will also help you better time manage. We all lead busy lives. We're all doing 1,000 things at 1,000 miles an hour. And if you don't have a plan and a schedule, especially if you're busy, it's going to make it very difficult for you to get done what it is that you need to get done. And by planning and scheduling in advance, you've set the time aside and you have allocated the time for you to make the progress towards your goal. And it will help keep you accountable to doing what it is you said you were going to do. And you know what? When you're a really busy person, you have to be organized. When you're less busy, it's even more important to be organized, because we think, I've got loads of time, I'll do that later. But later never happens. So still plan and schedule everything in. Having the plan in your diary and having things scheduled in will give you a visual reminder. So if you're looking at what you've got on the following day, oh yeah, I've scheduled myself a workout. I'm not going to forget that. Set a reminder as well. But seeing your plan written down in your calendar is also a constant reminder of you and your goals and what it is that you need to get done in order to achieve those goals. You're less likely to forget them. You're less likely to ignore them when they're clearly outlined in your diary, calendar, etc. Now, let's talk about self-accountability, because people often say to me, Deborah, you're so motivated. How do you do it? I'm not motivated all the time, I can assure you. In fact, I'm more or less motivated than I am really motivated. And the reason is because I plan and schedule. I know what I'm doing on what day I'm doing it. and I've time blocked it. So it helps me be accountable to myself. And I'm sharing with you the tools that I use, not just on myself, but are tried and tested with my clients. And they're the clients who are making the most progress, are the ones that are planning and scheduling. And having a plan, having a schedule, your activities scheduled, at the end of the day, being able to tick them off and know I did that is going to give you such a huge sense of achievement. And it's you giving yourself that positive reinforcement that will help you feel motivated to getting them done again. And you will have that, you will start building that self accountability. And this is going to help you not only make progress towards your goals, but maintain them going forwards. So that's a really big one. Planning and scheduling also helps you build routine and consistency by building habits. So by regularly planning and scheduling the things, when I say things, they refer to the actions that you need to do. I've mentioned them already before in this podcast. Daily walk, getting those steps in, doing that exercise, doing that workout, preparing that meal, going to the grocery store or ordering an online shop so you can prepare that healthy meal, doing all the things that are accountable to you. I even schedule in my meal times, particularly during the day, breakfast and lunch, because I'm so busy that unless I schedule that time, I'll just keep working, or I'm at the gym or whatever it is that I'm doing. And then I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even eaten yet. And that's not going to help me achieve my goals by skipping meals. So it's important to build that routine and consistency and planning in all those things that you need to do to support your goals. And when you keep planning and scheduling and building those habits over time, the consistency of doing that will help you more easily stick to your plan because it starts to become more of a routine. And when something becomes more of a routine, you will more likely do it even on those days you don't feel like doing it. And that's where we want to get to with you doing your actions, your things, and being accountable to yourself by planning and scheduling. Planning and scheduling will also give you less chance of making excuses to yourself because, like I say, if it's not in the diary and it doesn't exist, it's very easy for you to not do something. But when it's in your diary, you're building that consistency, the habits, you've time blocked, you know it's coming up, you want to get that sense of accomplishment, the promise to yourself, you will have less chance of making those excuses to yourself. And when you plan ahead, you can more easily see if it's clashing with other commitments, whether it's life commitments, work commitments, family commitments. You can plan ahead. You can make sure you schedule what you need to do for yourself at a slightly different time, maybe a different day. You can reschedule other things, whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that you don't make excuses to yourself and you get done what you said you were going to get done. And you don't have any excuses to avoid doing them. Planning ahead also allows you to have some measurable progress. So with a plan, you can look at your progress over time. You can look back in your calendar. You can see all the scheduling that you've done in the past and how you've done everything you said you were going to do. We're not aiming for perfection here, but setting yourself up with realistic targets, getting them done, looking at how far you come will enable you to feel much more motivated to keep going. It's a tangible record of your efforts, making it much harder, again, to ignore your goals and what's important to you. You're listening to this because you have health goals and it's important to you. And it's really great to look back to see how far you've come. Planning and scheduling gives you structure, enables you to put your efforts in where it's needed to support your health and your goal, helps you set clear expectations for yourself, helps you build the habits and routine to support your goal, and helps you build much more self accountability. So please decide which method you're going to use with your planning and scheduling, which type of diary or calendar, online, handwritten, etc., and start using it. I personally use Google Calendar. I like to see things in different colors. It's easy to set notifications and to put things on repeat as well. So, whatever works for you, do what works for you. It doesn't matter. It's about what works for you, because whatever works for you means that you're going to stay consistent with it. I hope you found this helpful. And I want to know how you're getting on. So do let me know how you're getting on when you do start planning and scheduling. And let me know about the feeling of accomplishment you achieve from planning and scheduling. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.